Oh, oh, oh,
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the A&J Soccer Show. As always, it's me, Andrew Pipers, and to my right,
Jalen Thompson.
and we are back after a 2-week break. We're back with you guys, and we have a great show today. Champions League draw and Europa League draw just came out. There's some other stuff going in Premier League, FA Cup, but that's these are the real exciting things today. So we'll just hop right into it. Champions League, some enticing draws. Which one's your favorite?
I think right away the one that stands out is Juventus Real Madrid. I think that's going to be pretty exciting to watch. The other ones are more of like a clear upper hand and a clear lower hand, but I think this one is the most evenly matched in terms of the ones that we have to look forward to. But I think that the attack on both sides are, very, very strong, as well as the defense. So I think it'll be a good game to just watch from a neutral point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. And Juventus just came off that exciting victory over Spurs at Wembley. I think Dybala scored twice in like 10 minutes. I don't know if you caught that game, but that was really exciting to watch. And Ronaldo's hitting some insane form right now. 21 goals in the last 11 games. People were doubting him, but I mean, you can't doubt Cristiano in that. I mean, I think Juventus is at home first, and that could play a role. Going to the Bernabeu second, Real Madrid's a fortress. It's tough to go there, but I mean, if I had to predict this one, Real Madrid, the Champions League is Real Madrid's competition. Yeah. They can be playing awful, as we saw against PSG. They were playing awful in the league. Get to PSG, do well. I have to go with Real Madrid on this one. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I remember you said that in one of the past episodes that the Champions League is where Madrid shines, and I think it was pretty obvious against PSG. They kind of got out of that rut. We talked about in the previous episode that they weren't in a necessarily good form going into the game, but they kind of just picked it up against PSG and showed, how they come out to play when it comes to the Champions League. So as much as I do want to support Juventus on this one, I'm going to say Real Madrid takes it in the second leg. I think that... Yeah. Honestly, I think Juventus could scare them in the first leg. Maybe secure like a 2-1 win at home, honestly, if they are home the first round. And then the second leg, I think Real Madrid will probably come back and take it from them. But I think it'll be an awesome game to watch. I think, like I said, both offense and defense of both teams are really strong. So I think that at the end of the day, the midfield will be what decides the game. Yeah,
I mean, I totally agree with that. And just... a real quick note, we were just talking about PSG, and I just remembered this, and this is crazy news, but Neymar, he's asked PSG's owners $1.3 million a week for him to stay there next year. Yeah. So he only just got there, and he's $1.3 million a week. $1.3 million a week is absurd, for anyone. No one deserves to be paid that much, but that's just a little side note. I don't know, that's obviously too much, right? Is he going to move on somewhere? I don't know.
I mean, that probably shows that he's not too happy at the club, honestly. If that much money is being required for him to stay, I think that's a pretty clear sign that he's not too happy. Maybe, he just did get injured. So
broke his ankle or something. Yeah.
That's not the best time. He probably isn't thinking too rationally, because I know when athletes get injured, it definitely affects their mental health. So, totally. I'm not sure if he's thinking straight. I'm pretty sure he is if he's going to come out and say that in the media. But, that's a big ask. And he's already, the talk of many haters with him, requiring, no defensive duties and all that stuff.
Whole sponsorship thing,
Yeah, so I think that's interesting for him to put himself back in the news in that lens.
He can't stay out of the news, but anyway, so let us know what you think about Neymar. If you're PSG, are you going to pay him $1.3 million? I think it's crazy, but please let us know what you think. Anyway, Neymar's former club, Barcelona, in my opinion, has one of the easiest draws in the Champions League, put up against Roma. Roma struggled to beat the Ukrainian Shakhtar Donetsk. They're good, they're a good side, but I mean, I think Roma's going to go against Barcelona and Messi and Suarez, and now Coutinho, Dembele's playing well now. I think there's only one result in this, and I think Barcelona will probably win on aggregate by 3 goals or something like that.
I'd say that's a fair assessment. I think that Chelsea gave Barca a good run for their money, in my opinion, especially in the first leg. I thought that Chelsea deserved a bit more of the first result, and then the second leg, Messi just came to life, honestly, if we're being real. The magician came out to play. And I just feel like Roma stands definitely a lesser chance of being able to stop the Magician in comparison to Chelsea. So
yeah.
I do agree. I think Barcelona takes this one easy.
Yeah.
3 goals.
Three
aggregate,
goals
that sounds at least what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, you're right about the Chelsea. I thought Barcelona was going to go to Stamford Bridge and end it in the first leg, if you remember me saying that, and Chelsea proved me wrong. But with this one, Barcelona, I feel I think it's too much. But the next draw was Sevilla versus Bayern. Would have been Manchester United versus Bayern, but sorry guys, I just had to get that little dig in there. But Sevilla Bayern, I think this is pretty similar. Bayern's been quietly good this year, if that makes sense. They're not getting as much media as they usually do.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
They're still a very formidable side. I think this one will be a comfortable 2-leg win for Bayern. I don't know, kind of hard to argue Sevilla in this case, but they did beat Manchester United. So.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna prove a point. Is that I think Ben Yedder came in clutch in that second leg. I unfortunately wasn't able to watch the game, but I know he came back and helped the side overcome Manchester United. But that one, it's hard, like you said. I mean, Bayern's a powerhouse. It's one of the most recognized clubs in the world. So to predict an upset against them would be tough. But I think, honestly, with the way Sevilla played against Manchester United, I know Manchester United is not the strongest team in the country right now, but it's I don't know. I feel like Sevilla will make it tough on them.
Yeah.
But I don't see them overcoming Bayern. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say Bayern takes it pretty comfortably. I agree. I think they're going to be able to squeeze past them.
Massive props for Sevilla for even being here right now at this stage in the competition. They're, I think, 5th or 6th in La Liga, and to beat a club like United is pretty remarkable. But anyway, so the last draw is, for us, the most enticing one. Man City, Liverpool. I'll be honest with you. I think I would have rather taken any other team than Liverpool.
Really?
In the draw.
Any other? Real Madrid
including Real Madrid. It's hard for me to say Real Madrid, but
wow.
Liverpool scares me. Mo Salah has been playing
lights out. Yeah,
lights out, and I think Liverpool beat us at Anfield 4-3. So on aggregate, we've won probably something like 8-4 on aggregate from the Premier League. But anyway, this draw, this is a game. Sometimes I talk about games to watch if you're not a soccer fan. This is one because it's just going to be so open. Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola attacking soccer. It's just going to be so fun to watch. I got it, and I'm going with my heart, but also my head in saying Man City. I just think over 2 legs were too much for them, especially at the Etihad.
Right.
But Mo Salah is scaring me, man. Mo Salah is scaring me. So I'm going to say Man City by that much. Maybe on away goals.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw this fixture, and I wasn't too excited, one, just because the Champions League is an opportunity for your club to play clubs that aren't in its domestic league, and so it's not the most exciting draw. Another
fair.
Premier League team against another Premier League team. But besides that, you're right. Liverpool is very threatening, and you make a good point in Mo Salah. Scored 4 goals and had an assist against Watford over the weekend in the Premier League. So he's definitely showing why he is a contender for the best Premier League player of the year. But I feel like I'm very, very confident in our defense recently.
It's a good point. I wouldn't think of that.
And so I feel like our backs can handle. I think Mendy's back in training. So Mendy might be returning. Company's back in form. We have Fernandinho back. Raheem Sterling's back from injury. Gabriel Jesus is back from injury. Aguero did get hurt. I think it was last week. It might be a week and a half ago. Right before we played Stoke, he got pulled out of training with I think it was hamstring injury.
Okay.
So he's been out for 2 weeks after that point. But I think he should be back for the first Champions League draw. So I think with us being full strength, I don't see any way that they can stop us. I think that we'll have all of our firepower available. I think Pep will pick the right side, and I think we'll go out and we'll show them that we don't make mistakes twice in a row, and that we're not going to mess up the second time. This would be the third time that we're playing this season. So I'm gonna say that we take them. Comfortably is not the word I want to use here, but I don't think that they'll necessarily like make it super hard to watch. I don't think that the goal differential will be huge, but I don't think that. I think City will show their dominance in the game.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I hope you're right. I hope it's not. I hope it's not a nail biter like I'm thinking, but yeah, I do have confidence in the boys. Like this to me is just a magical season for us as City fans. As I'm sure you guys have figured out by now.
I don't know. It just feels like in previous seasons, I've never felt so confident, especially when we play like even some of the lesser teams. I remember like previous years under Pellegrini and whatnot. Like we'd be playing like a Stoke, and it'd be 1-0 in the last like 10 minutes of the game. I'm feeling a goal coming from the other team.
Yeah,
it's not like that this year. I think it might just be the dominance we have in possession that just gives me confidence that like we have full grasp of the game and we're not gonna falter. So
yeah.
I just feel like this is our time. This is hopefully the time we get as far as we did last year in the Champions League. Semifinals was the farthest that we had made it previously. So I feel like we can do it again this year.
I think so too. And just one quick point on Man City about, you mentioned Aguero being hurt. People might think, I don't think he's going to leave this summer. When he does leave, I think he's going to go back to Argentina to finish out his career. But a possible replacement, you can't replace Aguero. He's a city legend. Right. So like I'm just gonna put that out there. But someone to come in after Aguero goes back to Argentina has been Paulo Dybala. That's been in the news a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you read any of that?
I haven't been looking at the transfer rumors too much recently, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was linked.
So that would be, I think he would be a good. There will never be a worthy replacement for Aguero, club leading goal scorer, like I just said. But I think Dybala would be a strong supplement to Jesus, and I think they could play together or something like that. Right. Do you like Dybala coming in if Aguero leaves this summer?
I mean, Dybala is one of the most promising Argentine players coming up right now. Yeah. He has a lot of talk and a lot of excitement behind him. So I think that'd be a cool combination. Honestly, I think that he would fit in the squad pretty well. Yeah. But I'm also very confident in Gabriel Jesus' abilities. I mean, he's very young as well, so he has plenty of time to develop and show, what he's made of. But moving on, actually, the Europa League has had some pretty good draws as well. We haven't focused too much on the Europa League in the show so far, but it's starting to get into the latter rounds of that competition, and there's some noteworthy draws. So, any ones that stand out to you?
So the one that stands out to me is Arsenal versus CSKA Moscow, and it stands out to me for a couple of reasons. The first one is Arsenal has a terrible, terrible record in Russia. So on paper, you look at those two teams and you think Arsenal should absolutely walk through that easily. But Arsenal, I don't think they've won a game in Russia for the past 5 years or something like that. And also, and to me, maybe more importantly, and it's really cool to show the kind of how you can learn about the world through soccer, because I learned about England and Russia have some pretty high political tensions right now. I don't know if you saw that, but I learned about that through this game and through Arsenal fans talking about traveling to Russia. So I think the political atmosphere around this game is actually really cool, and it's one of those intersections you see between the real world and soccer. And I'd like to think that soccer can kind of transcend the dissidence between the Russians and the English, and they can sort of unite behind the beautiful game. But perhaps that's a little bit of a romantic thought. But getting back to the actual game at hand, oh man, that's tough. Arsenal has a bad record in Moscow. Wenger is Wenger. I still have to back Arsenal going through on this one. Yeah. I don't think they're going to win in Moscow though, just because they haven't for 5 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to take Arsenal in that one. What do you think about that?
Arsenal had a shaky time against the team they played before. Started with an A, very long. Not going to try and pronounce it. But they ended up going. Oh, sorry. Before Milan, they played Milan previously, beat them. Yeah. But before that, they played some long team. It starts with an A. And I just feel like they've been inconsistent lately. They've started to recently regain form in the Premier League and with the recent win against Milan, so that might be showing that they're turning a new leaf and trying to get some momentum heading into the latter parts of the season. But I would say Arsenal would come through and do their job here. It would be a huge upset, I tell you that, if Moscow was ever to overcome Arsenal. But I wouldn't put it past them. But I do think Arsenal will have this one set. But the game I do really like looking at is Leipzig-Marseille, because that game looks like it has a lot of attacking promise with Gomes from Marseille.
Okay, I didn't know he was on Marseille.
And then you have Werner and Bruma, and Everton transferred a young player named Lookman.
Oh, yeah. He's over there now.
Yeah, from Everton to Leipzig, so he's also another promising attacking player. So I think that's a pretty good matchup, in my opinion. I'm going to say that Leipzig actually goes through on that one. I don't know. What do you think?
No, that's a good shout. I think Leipzig came off a good win over Dortmund in the last round, and they beat Bayern this weekend in the Bundesliga, so that attacking talent like you were talking about, and also Forsberg, the Swedish guy, he's really, they're quite a talented side. Marseille has Gomes, like you said. They also have Payet, who appears to be playing really well again. Leipzig, I want to pick Leipzig, but I actually saw Marseille play recently, and I think over 2 legs Marseille is going to edge out Leipzig, which is like it's as close to a toss-up as it can be for me, but I really do think Marseille with Payet, especially if Payet can play to his true ability, I think like Payet's just on another level than all those other great players we were talking about.
It was so fun to watch Payet blow up. Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Last year, 2 years ago. Yeah. When he was just on top of his stuff, and he was in every highlight reel, every video on Instagram you were watching, he was on there because he was that man at the time. But hopefully he can get back into his previous form and lead them to a victory. Yeah, totally. And then I guess another. So Atletico is playing Sporting Lisbon, and that on paper looks like Atletico should destroy them. Yeah. Can't really argue with the paper on that one. I was trying to back it. As well. That would be a pretty big blowout. Yeah. Did you see that Atletico goal from Griezmann? Correa set him up. Mm-mm. Okay, so I'll try to describe it. Basically, Correa like flicked it over a guy and then like kind of did like a roulette and just got past a guy. Gives it to Griezmann, and Griezmann's on the edge of the 18, and just beautiful chip. It was amazing to watch. They were up like 7-0 on aggregate already, and I was like, that's rough for the other team. So they're pretty strong right now. They have a lot of momentum going into this game. Yeah, they're firing on all cylinders. They're usually like a perennial like Champions League semifinal team. So I probably back Atletico to win the entire Europa League, but I think they won't have a problem with Sporting Lisbon at all. I got it either, honestly. Yeah. Last one, Lazio and Salzburg from the Bundesliga. I don't know too much about either one of these sides, but Lazio is one I'm most familiar with, at least recognizable through name. So I'm going to back Lazio on this one. I think they have a nice winger named Felipe Anderson. He's pretty pacey. They got him on the wing, and so I think from the very little knowledge that I know about the team, then I'm going to go Lazio over Salzburg here. And I also won't pretend like I know much about either of these teams. So, I've heard of Felipe Anderson. He's good. I think I heard Lazio is doing pretty well in Serie A this year. Salzburg might be Austria, I think. Really? Is that they're either Bundesliga or Austria? I could have messed it up. I'm not really surprised. Doesn't matter. Lazio's going to win. Based on our expert knowledge of the team. But anyway, that's what we have for you guys today. I'm super stoked to be back with you guys. Hopefully we can get back in the regular weekly schedule. And thank you so much for watching. And please, give us feedback. And just any new ideas you guys have, anything you want to see, please let us know. Appreciate it. Yeah, and actually we've reached the milestone of 1,500 total views, so we just like to once again thank you guys for tuning in, from like the Philippines to the UK, to the one guy in Switzerland who watched like all of episode 9. That was Shout pretty cool. Switzerland. You're a real one for that. But if you guys would, as always, like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, and until next time, we'll see you guys.
No, I ain't hosting. Kush all in my lap because he don't wanna roll it. I was sliding in the lamb with the power die. Slime green paint, peanut butter inside. She wanna